You seem to be a good mix of loving yourself and also working on yourself to continuously grow. And I think a lot of people get so wrapped up in loving themselves that they don't see the areas of themselves that need some work and they don't take the time to work on that. So, how do you balance loving yourself and accepting yourself for who you are, but also loving yourself and loving your friends and family enough to work on yourself in a way that makes you a better person as well?
Well, lucky for me, you fuckers tell me all the time what's wrong with me, what I'm doing wrong, how I'm doing it wrong, what I could do better. Boom, 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 in my face. Not the nice ones. No, but you know what? It's very visual for me whenever you guys don't like something I do, when the internet, and of course, like I was telling producer Courtney the other day, there's for every one like mean thing, there is 100 kind things, but you pick up on the mean ones. And I learned a long time ago to stop being like fucking loser. They're fucking jealous and they wish they were me. And to think, hey, why did they say that? And sometimes I say, I looked inward. They are a sad person who is projecting their sadness onto me. I feel bad for them. Go on with peace. And I hope you find some tequila in your life or some dick. Then there are times where I look into something someone might say. I'll bring this up. Episode with Jalen. A lot of people said you interrupted him the whole time. I'm here to tell you, I edited the podcast. I edited out parts where I interrupted him. So y'all didn't even hear how many times I actually did it. It is a huge issue, okay? Like when I had a podcast with MC, I just, and I don't do it in a obsessive, like egotistical way. I just have so many things in my mind and I just blurt them out. I had to look within. And I was like, all of these people wouldn't be saying this if okay. And I worked on it. I work on it every single day. And here's another thing. If you're not someone who, has the joy and loveliness of 1,000 people telling you what you should and shouldn't do on the internet all the time, like me, I find working on yourself to be the right thing to do whenever I have someone in my life like Anna Grace, Taylor, my parents, right? Like my ex-boyfriend was wonderful. I want to be a better friend, a better relationship, like partner, a better daughter to these people who are doing so good for me. And do they fuck up sometimes? Yeah, sure. But honestly, not as much as me. So I think it's the right thing to do is to work on yourself because Anna Grace could not be more there for me, could not be more like attentive and give advice and do all this stuff. So who the fuck am I to not be a good person back to her? So when I notice that I'm not listening as well as I should be, if I'm not doing this, it just comes in my brain. And I'll send text messages all the time to people and I'll be like, I feel like I haven't been paying a lot of attention to you, or I feel like I haven't been doing this and I just want to apologize. And every time they're like, bitch, you're fine. You're busy. You're good. But like, I think it's important to always check in with yourself and be like, what am I doing that might not be great that I'm doing this? So I don't know. Anytime someone gives you criticism, like I said, sometimes, yes, it can be jealousy, whatever. But a lot of the times, more time than not, you should just look internally and think, is there some truth to this? Did they have a really bad delivery, but is there some truth to this? I remember I lost a friend like 3-4 years ago. And the reasons she didn't like me were valid, and that was a point in my life where I just wasn't a great person. I was 23. I was just shithead. And like, I look back at that and I'm like, I remember being like, why doesn't she like me? And now I'm like, well, yeah, I wouldn't like that 23-year-old either. I just wouldn't. So it's just good to be self-aware. Again, talk to producer Courtney about this. I'm like, if you are just, you got the memo about yourself. If you can be self-aware, then you can also be self-aware enough to work on it. It is a work in progress every day. I still interrupt people. I still overtalk. I still do all these things, but I know to my core, I'm working on it. I work on it every single day. I wake up every day and I think to myself, talk less, listen more. Talk less, listen more. I swear it's my New Year's resolution every year because I'm trying. And if you're trying, that's all you can do. And the people who are like, ew, you're not trying hard enough. I'm like, well, okay, well then bye because I'm trying. So that's my answer.